even if you store it closed, it will spawn extended. And this is the end result. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll be making the main video where I'm sort of figuring this stuff out. And then there'll also be a fun blooper video to follow. But I'm going to say it here for everybody at the start of this video, because I'm putting this at the front. You can't do trading in the Hull C right now. You just can't. Maybe one or two of you get lucky and get a docking collar one time out of 100. But as it currently stands, you cannot do trading in the Hull C. You have to land in your hangar or be docked to store the ship. You have to store the Hull C. You can't land at the pad. We tried that. You'll see that in this video. You can't hover around the pad, over the pad, next to the pad, freight elevators, external freight elevators, anything. You can't do any of that. All you can do is try to store the ship to see the Hull C option in the admin terminal. For the station to recognize your ship, you have to store it in the station with the Hull C. Other ships, not a part of this video. Problem is, even if it did pop up in your hangar closed, you would not have the thrust to get off the ground. We also demonstrated that in this video that you'll see today. Just don't waste your time. Use other ships if you want to. There's lots of money to be made. We lost about 8 million in this testing, which is no sweat off my back. I'm happy to provide the results for everybody. It is what it is. So I will include links to the Issue Council website in this video, as well as all the tools used for trading any of the STAR-CITIZEN tools. So hopefully you guys can find issues related to the extended Hull C problems. I'll actually try to find that specific issue console, this one right here, the extended in hangar, and link that below this particular video for you guys to go contribute to. But I'm pretty certain CIG already has this confirmed as a problem they're working on. That said, I hope you guys enjoy the video regardless. Have some fun watching it, seeing the method that I go through to try to figure out how things work and to show you some examples of what happens. 2 hours and 42 minutes, 2 hours and 43 actually, right now, of recording and all kinds of shenanigans to make this happen. I love doing the science. I love helping out you guys. The game is fun, even the funny, crappy stuff that does happen. This will eventually purple and get destroyed, and it's in claim status. We already took everything off of it that we wanted or cared about, so we're fine. The mags is just gonna reincarnate all over again. I hope you guys enjoy. I'll catch you in the next one. What's going on, everybody? I got a video here to hopefully help some of you out that have been struggling with trade runs or commodities with the Hull C. If my workarounds work in today's video, then you have a way that you can actually do this. If not, until they fix the issue with the Hull C spawning inside a hangar extended, commodity runs with it may be just a no-go. But we'll see. First thing I wanted to show you, though, is we got to store our Hull C that's here. Now, we're spawning fresh, so it's inside, it's closed, it's empty. This should work for everybody. We're going to run over to the admin terminal, select our materials, and then send it to the Hull C, not to the station. I'll show you that in just a second. Like all of the videos that I do in an educational or helpful format, I'm trying to make this as concise as possible, so I'm just going to cut to the important stuff. Cargo area on Levski. Cargo area. Top level 00. That is where the TDD is. I'll show you over here. This is where you would go to buy your cargo goods, right? You go up to those terminals there. Well, if you turn left, here you go. Here's your TDD you would normally, the Trade and Development Division, that would be on the main planets. Now, one of the issues I've seen in my comments where people are asking what are they doing wrong is they're not choosing the correct location. To get the auto load to work on any of these ships when you're doing trade runs, you got to select the ship in question. That is one of the reasons the Hull C is having trouble, and we'll get to that a little bit later in the video as I demonstrate. But you want to make sure you have the Hull C selected. Sometimes in previous patches it said like your name, but it shows the quantity of the Hull C at 4608 when you select it. As long as you see this here, you've got the right ship selected. You should be okay. I don't really care about what we're pulling. I'll actually off screen figure out the easiest thing to just take around. Actually, you know, one area we can't really go wrong is iron. So we're going to do that. We're going to select 32 iron, 144 units of it. We're going to buy it all. This is all going to go onto our Hull C. Now what you'll notice is it'll say pick up from cargo deck required. So this is where we as Hull C captains would normally go to the auto load zone and have all that cargo loaded up onto our ship. For those of you who might be new to commodities runs, it is always the case that you have to head to your admin area to set up the work order before you head down to actually auto load it in your Hull C or load it in general. And then when you're dropping off, it's in reverse. You got to, or it's not in reverse, it's the same sequence. You got to go to admin first and then offload. Now this part is just like doing your standard cargo missions. You want to come to a stop, coupled, make sure you're fully stopped, hands off your sticks or your your inputs, give it a sec. Sometimes, if nothing happens, you can give it a little stick wiggle, a little throttle wiggle, just to kind of wake it up. We're going to have to do a seat check already. Interesting. Alright, seat check is simply to hold down Y and get out of your seat, or whatever keybind you have it set for. This should resync you to the server, the grid disappears, which it looks like it is, and you start loading. So, cool. This server at Levski is already suffering a little bit, I guess. We're 30 FPS though, sometimes it just happens. 180 people on the shard, so it's not too busy. You have this hostile cutty out there. So we're doing a full load. This is over 6 million AOEC worth of iron for this test, just to demonstrate the full risk of doing something like this. But yeah, with the current state of money in the game, it's not so bad. Leave a comment down below if you'd like a cash infusion of 50 million AOEC. I still have some money to give away, so might as well. Keep in mind also there's a wipe coming, likely in 4.6, maybe 4.7 when crafting gets introduced. So the rumors say. So enjoy the money while you can, get some ships, have some fun. Well, this is the first. Apparently I'm going to have to stay out of the seat for this damn thing to load. Because he keeps pausing when I get into my pilot seat. Potentially a new workaround for finicky shards. Just hop in your captain's seat. Unofficial workaround, unofficial workaround. So we're heading into Stanton, but I'm going to use a slight dogleg maneuver to Pyro just to demonstrate the active avoidance of potential pirates. Now, if there's anybody blockading Stanton Gateway, then, you know, it might be SOL. But I'm going to go a couple of seconds toward Pyro to create some distance out of the normal straight line cone from Levski to Stanton Gateway, and then head to Stanton Gateway. All we did was about 10 seconds or so, not too much. Don't have to overdo it. We're using UEX Corp to figure out that we wanted to go to Terra as a way to, you know, get some profit out of this. So try to treat it like an actual commodities route. But I'll have the link for this website down in the description, as well as all the other SC tools. If they haven't been in the other videos, I apologize. I'll make sure that they're in my default so they're always included. But this is a fantastic place where you can actually look at all of the elements that you have. Some of the quick ways that I'll do it is like finding iron, selecting it. You can choose where to buy and sell, and it gives you the highest offer places with that. And like I said in one of my streams, if it's got a little box next to the name here, that means that it's actually got a cargo center where your Hull C can auto-load. So like Terra, Gaslight, Megumi, Nyx Gateway, Ruin Station, anywhere that you see an actual box next to it, you have a cargo center. So the Hull C can do its thing. Alright, we have just arrived at Terra Gateway, and unlike normal missions, I would full burn and then do a reverse entry at the cargo center behind Terra. However, again, with trading commodities, if you're new to this, you got to go into admin first. You got to set up the work order. And this is where currently, with the state of the Hull C and the issue with it opening in hangars extended, we have a problem. See, before 4.4, you were able to just sort of park next to an external pad and then run inside to the admin terminal, and your ship would show up as a selectable option to set up a work order. However, I've found out, thanks to some of you wonderful folks who have let me know on the live streams or in the comment section of videos, that it doesn't work. So I actually tried it in a couple of my live streams. I tried to see if that function was actually doing what I thought it should be doing, and in fact is not. Not only that, but not even parking in front of the external freight elevator makes your ship visible. So that leaves you with basically one option, which is to land. The only way to do that in Hull C, legitimately, is to dock. That's obviously a big problem, because currently docking the Hull C extended will cause it to expand, or will cause it to pop up in your hangar extended, and then it will get destroyed, and you will lose everything you put your money into. Some of you have experienced this yourself. I experienced this issue when I was first messing with hauling in 4.4. This also includes if your ship gets impounded. If anything happens that repositions your ship inside while extended, it will pop up in your hangar extended. Since this is a problem right now, my solution: collapse the ship. Now, yes, this is admittedly immersion breaking. It sucks. I don't like it personally. Some of y'all might not care. It feels dumb to me that this is possible. But the way I see it, since right now the current state of the Hull C doesn't allow you to use it properly, it's kind of your only way to do this without breaking the system. So this should now cause two things to help you. you can land at the external pad, hopefully, which we're going to test to see if you can actually get your ship to pop up at the admin terminal. Or 2, if you have to dock or land your ship for it to show up, it will be collapsed, therefore retrievable from your hangar without it blowing up and losing all of the commodities and all the money and time you put into it. That's what we're going to test today. Alright, we successfully touched down, so I'm just making sure shields are up, engines are off, no shenanigans. And let's see if this worked. Alright, you head to the Galleria to get to the admin terminals on pretty much any other station that you would go to. Aside from like Pyro. Pyro's a little different. You got to go into their shop area and then find the admin terminals. But they all look like this in the Stanton systems or Stanton Gateway styles. And then again, here, you got to find your ship, which... Oh, no. Wow, not even that worked. No way. I really thought that landing on the pad would be a workaround. Alright, back to the ship. We're going to have to dock. You know, with that being the case, you really have no choice but to collapse the ship. This probably means that the other option I was going to try, which is to be extended and then have the spindle touching the pad, might work. I don't think so, because it doesn't even register the Hull C landed. Holy cow, we're learning something else, guys. The Hull C does not have the ability, fully loaded with iron, to take off in 1G with the ventral thrusters. Wow, we can't do anything. We can't take off, we can't expand because of the weight of 1G. Oh boy. Alright, we've pulled everything off of the Hull C just in case we're left with no choice but to claim the ship. So, yeah, let's see what we can do now. Let's go put this back in station. Okay, we are back in on a different server. I've got no icons for the Hull C, so one of two things is going to happen here. It's going to be stored in the station, with which, yay, we can just simply move on, or it's going to be in a claim status, persistent in the other server, and we're going to have to file a claim and continue after that. So either way, I'm going to get to the bottom of all the things I want to test for commodities today, so bear with me, my friends. It is now marked as Hull C number 2 under a claim status. We've already transferred everything off of the Hull C that we need to worry about, so we're going to go ahead and get this claim done. I will be back in 15 minutes. Do not, my friends, do not land on a 1G landing pad, which is all landing pads. All, just make that really clear, with a completely loaded Hull C or sufficiently loaded Hull C, because you probably won't be able to take off again. And the only way around that is to claim the ship and lose the cargo. We are going to lose. We're going to take about a 6.4 million AUEC hit. We are going to lose like over 6 million AUEC here, which isn't really a super concern in this particular circumstance because we're sitting on plenty of money. However, if that's all the money you got, you just lost everything. So please, please, please do not land on pads with a loaded Hull C. That is one thing we've definitely learned so far. Now I'm rotating to where I'm thrusting upwards or dorsally because you have a lot more power in your vertical thrusters than you do your lateral thrusters. Of course, the most power out of your main thrusters. But this is just a way to help slow down when you're full. You gotta rotate to get that vertical thrust. We serious right now? We got a busted docking port? You gotta be kidding me, bro. This is how it thinks we should be lined up. Let's see if we can just call the damn thing out again. We are also going to do a seat check to make sure we're not out of sync with the background server. We're gonna do all the things here. In fact, we might just let the ship get impounded at this point. Somebody else might have just called the docking caller. Now we've somehow managed to call a hangar. We're just gonna roll with it. I don't really know what happened there. You can watch it back in the video. We brought our landing gear up, we closed all doors, and now it's given us an actual hangar to get inside and land inside of. So whether you dock, get your ship impounded, or somehow manage to actually land in a hangar, just get inside. Just get inside. Make sure your ship, again, is collapsed. It's the only way, I think, to make this work.
Landing gear down.
Oh. I forgot. She's heavy. We just dove immediately, but, we're in, dude. Please, 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 please see the ship. You can see the ship. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this workaround will work. All of that, my friends, was to show you that this workaround will work. Oh, shit. It can't be done. It doesn't matter if you're closed. You can't take off from your hangar. How am I just realizing this? We could have deduced that result. We're 2 hours and 40 minutes into recording. We're screwed. We can't, yeah, you can't do trade in the Hull C. You just can't. Okay, there's one last thing to try. One thing, you know, when stating the obvious, you know, not realizing the glaring mistake I made in this video, let me at least just try something else that is absolutely going to get asked and super obvious. What if we just dock and don't store? Just dock and get lucky, the ship's staying there. Will that work? Let's find out. Okay, we're extended, we're docking. Now we just run in and see if it sees the ship without having to store it. Not even that works. That's a bummer, my friends. I hope you at least enjoyed the video. Now you know. Currently trading in the Hull C is dead. It's totally dead. So I guess we'll see what happens in 4.6 and beyond. Hopefully the devs get on this and fix it pretty quickly. I don't know how high it is on their priority list, but it'll get addressed eventually. Till then, at least we've got regular cargo hauling, mining, salvage, plenty of fun game loops to enjoy. So until we see a change to this, I will catch you out there in the verse, my friends. Take care.